Well, good morning, everybody. Today's practice is about cultivating balance, and we're using a mudra and we're using some breath. The mudra we're going to use is called Hakini Mudra, and this mudra brings all of the including the thumbs, and we hold this mudra right down in front of our solar plexus region. Let me back up so we can see. Right about here, so shoulders are resting with ease. So before we take our mudra, let your hands rest open on your thighs, and let's take 3 deep breaths in and out. Sigh it out. Letting go of whatever doesn't need to be present with you in the room right now. And let eyes remain soft. Let the shoulders remain soft. And let the breath remain soft. And begin by checking in with yourself. First, the body. So as you check in with the body, and begin by checking in with yourself. First, the body. So as you check in with the body, notice how the body is supported by the air or the floor, the bed, the couch. Notice what it feels like to receive that support. What it feels like to rest into support. Not collapse, but rest. Notice if with this support you're able to find a length to the spine, a sense of elevation. And now begin to notice how the body receives the breath. Maybe noticing where you feel a lot of movement of breath. Where you may feel no movement of breath. And even though it might be uncomfortable, begin to notice the mind, the thoughts. What's trying to get in? What's trying to grab your attention? And is it succeeding? Or are you able to continuously redirect awareness back to the breath, back to the body, back to this moment? This is a practice of training the mind, of focusing the mind. The reason the very practiced yogi doesn't get stressed is because they are able to redirect and control the mind. Yoga teachings say that the mind is to be subservient to the spirit, to the soul, to the will. But for most of us, the mind is the master. So these practices, these attempts at continuously focusing the mind on one thing, even if you have to do it 1,000 times in a minute, these practices help to rein the mind in so that you can focus. So that when you're feeling stressed, you can come to a place where stress doesn't exist, where fear or worry doesn't exist. And it is a practice. So let's now add in Hakini Mudra. So bringing all of the tips of the fingers to touch. Rest the hands down, rest the shoulders down. Allow the eyes to be soft. Then allow the breath to flow. Mudras, by their nature, change the flow of the breath. So start to notice how your breath is moving, how it naturally wants to move. Perhaps you want to start taking deeper, fuller breaths. And as a means of experimenting, keep the pinky fingers touching, but open the rest of the fingers away. And just start to notice what happens when only the pinky fingers touch. And now bring the tips of the thumbs to touch, all of the other fingers facing away from each other, just the thumbs touching. Breathing with the thumbs touching. Notice what happens to the breath here. And now all the tips of the fingers touching. And notice what happens with the breath now. Notice the sensation, the pressure between the tips of all of the fingers. And notice what that feels like for you, to have the tips of the fingers all touching. This is the mudra for balance and a full breath. So let's start to cultivate a sense, an experience, a connection with balance. How does balance show up for you in your life? Is it a feeling? Do you see something in your mind's eye? Maybe it's a smell. Maybe it helps to recall a moment of balance from your life. Start now to imagine that you are in a place of supreme balance. Welcome this experience of balance, even if it's just for a moment. Pretend and imagine that you are in a state of supreme balance. Notice how the breath moves when you imagine that you are balanced. Notice the feelings in the body. What does balance feel like in the physical body? What about your energy? Where is your energy level right now when you're balanced? Welcome the fullness of balance, the fullness of the breath as you balance. And let's use the sound of Om, the mantra of Om, and we'll let it be long and low, maybe even quiet, to really extend the breath, but also to imagine it like a foghorn that pierces through the thoughts that try and tell you you are not balanced. Taking a deep breath in. Let's do that again. Taking another deep breath in. Let's do that one more time. Big breath in. And as we release the sound, continue to hold the mudra. Continue to allow the breath to flow. Welcoming the experience of balance here. And then release the hands. Let them rest open on the thighs. And as you sense into the fingertips of the left hand, the fingertips of the right hand, it may feel as though they are still touching. You may notice a tingling or a warmth or a coolness in the hands. Perhaps you're feeling more connected, more at ease, and more balanced. And let's sit here for just a few breaths, welcoming this experience. And then, as you're ready, allowing eyes to open. So, we have a question, which I'll answer in just a moment. But thank you for joining me for Hakini Mudra and Practice for Balance. I hope you're feeling a little more balanced. Remember, you can come back to this practice at any time that you need it. The question that we have is in relation to yesterday's practice, which was lion's breath. Can we make the lion roar pose without showing the tongue? Part of the reason we stick the tongue out in lion's breath, so lion's breath is this one, where you stick the tongue out, is the actual action of opening the mouth is working to kind of stretch and strengthen. There's actual big muscle here that lives underneath the skin, so it strengthens that. So sticking the tongue out is part of that. Lion's breath is also said to release halitosis, which is the bad breath. So part of that is really opening the throat and sticking the tongue out. So yeah, do stick your tongue out when you practice lion's breath rather than having the mouth closed. Or just opening the mouth. I mean, you'll get some benefit. And as always, we want to adapt and adjust and accommodate as needed. But feel free to stick your tongue out. If you're feeling self-conscious about it or anything like that, go into a private room, be by yourself, and roar to your heart's content. So, thanks for the question. Our video for Thursday the 19th is I'm going live at 5 o'clock Pacific time, so that's 5 in the evening, and we've had a request for a breath of joy practice, so we'll do breath of joy and maybe a little other movement. If you're interested in a live yoga class, I'm doing some live yoga classes with Pacific U Yoga, which is a yoga studio in Albany, Oregon. So you can head to pacificyoga.com. I'll put that in the description, and sign up for live videos. If you are watching this in the future, then you may wish to head over to our website, yogafordepression.com. There will be links to live practice, our previously live practices on yogafordepression.com. You can always leave a comment with a question, and I will get to you as soon as I can. Make sure that you subscribe so you get notifications for when we go live again. Thank you so much for joining us, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Bye.